Hello, my name is Tiffany Lane. I am in my second year of grad school at Jackson State University in social work program. I selected the Johnson model of intervention as the intervention for this assignment. The background information for this intervention is it was developed by a priest, actually, to assist individuals who suffer from addiction, whether it's alcoholism, food, drugs, any type of intervention that is needed to prevent a person from continuing self-harm behaviors and possibly even death. The intervention for the Johnson model of the plan of model for this intervention is teaming, planning, care, addiction, evidence, goal, and treatment options. I have it says identify who you would use this intervention with. I would use this intervention with clients who are showing any behaviors or substance abuse related issues. For example, I've had numerous clients that have addictions to drugs or alcohol and they just do not see it at all. So I would hold to, and I guess in the initial phase, the teaming phase, is where I have personally intervened. These clients' demographics differ. I've had clients who are very wealthy, have great jobs, but they have an alcohol abuse problem. I've had clients who are living in poverty that may have a marijuana addiction. My clients range from all different ages, but I can't say that they are all parents because my background is in child protective services. So meeting with the clients initially, I would always tell them after doing my assessment of the family that I do have a concern for their use of whatever substance that may be. And then I would go with them to their first appointment. And I would always ask them to have family as a support, which is a part of the Johnson model also, that the person who is being confronted with the addictive behavior has a support that they need present to know that they're not under attack and that these people genuinely have concerns for their well-being and the well-being of their family. So I would have this meeting. I would of course, I'll always be the person that's the bad guy, ripping off the Band-Aid, just straight up stating that this is the problem and this is how it's affecting these people. And then I would allow the family member to select a person, not going around the room, having each person say something, but just having a family member just discuss how these things have impacted their lives, being in relation with the person that's having these addictive behaviors. In this model, I selected it because I think accountability is very important. And that is something that people that abuse substances never do. They never take accountability for their actions, and everything is always someone else's fault, which is also how it affects the family in the long run, or their children feeling like it's their fault that their family member is showing these addictive behaviors. So that's the reason that I selected this model, because I think it's confrontational, but it's also just hitting the nail on the head and addressing the issue. It says give a detailed review of using the intervention with the mock client, client demographics, why they need the service, and how I incorporated it. So the most recent client that I had, her name, I'll call her Cheryl, just a name that I selected. Single mother going through a divorce, and she would have violent episodes where she would call law enforcement all the time thinking that somebody was breaking into her house, when reality is that she was extremely inebriated. She had alcohol all over her home. Single mother, Caucasian female with 2 children, and her ex-husband, also Caucasian male, very wealthy family. So initially meeting with them, they kind of came off like, we make more money than you. We don't have to listen to you. What do you know? We're older than you. How old are you? So I kind of had to get past all of those things. The service that I recommended for Cheryl was alcohol abuse treatment and also drug treatment, just because of the medications that she was prescribed and taking them in lieu with her alcohol use, which was a concern to me. I did do a pill count and all of her pills were present. That should be, but that also means that she's still taking those medications, those psychotropic meds, and she's drinking alcohol with them. Cheryl was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she's having a really difficult time going through the divorce and feeling like everybody was against her. So I held this meeting at her home, actually, rather than going to a facility, just because it was more comfortable for her and her family. And I asked that her parents be present, and then I had to do it a bit more strategically with her and actually print out police runs to her home and show her, because she was in denial that she'd ever done that. And I showed her the printouts where it said her name from her phone number and that she was the caller. And then just kind of discussed how her alcoholism is going to lead to possible removal of her children if it continues to proceed, and that her children should not see her in that manner. And then I allowed her parents to speak in front of everyone, just about the concerns that they have and how they have had to step out of the role of being a grandparent into being a parent for her children, because she's always inebriated. And her husband was also present to discuss that though they're going through the divorce, that they still want to remain to be friends, but he's putting her in a position, or she's putting him in a position where he may have to have the children removed from her because he's concerned for them seeing her like that. So that's how I kind of integrated the Johnson model. Cheryl is still at the beginning phases of her alcohol treatment. She did agree to go, which agreeing is to go through your treatment is one of the things for the Johnson model. Thank you, classmates, for listening, and I hope everybody has great holidays.